During D23 Expo in Anaheim, we learned about quite a few changes that will affect Walt Disney World in both the short and long term. While news of some items filtered out prior to the Expo, there were quite a few surprises. Let's take a look inside the Anaheim Convention Center from this past weekend. Disney Parks and Resorts Chairman Bob Chapek started things off with the most eagerly anticipated news.
And since we announced the construction of the Star Wars lands only 2 years ago here, it's the perfect opportunity for us to reward our fans again with the newest news on Star Wars lands.
Prior to the start of the Expo, Chapek revealed a model of the new Star Wars land that will appear in Disneyland and Disney World.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to live your own Star Wars adventure starting in 2019 at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort.
There are to be 3 distinct areas within Galaxy's Edge: a resistance outpost, a bustling trading post, and an area occupied by the First Order. It was explained that the new lands will be nearly identical in Anaheim and Orlando, with the most significant differences being the entrances to each land, necessitated by the different layouts of Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. While specific opening dates were not announced, both versions of Star Wars Land will open in 2019, with Disneyland's version scheduled to open prior to what we will see in Walt Disney World. The land will include 2 brand new attractions and at least 1 new dining option, and it sounds like the area will be populated with a variety of characters, human, alien, and droid, both familiar to Star Wars fans and some new to this land, some of whom will interact with guests as they walk through the park. We also learned what to call this new land.
So today I'm pleased to announce that we will be calling these lands Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. The name represents all the unknown adventure happening here, and we're looking forward to welcoming all of you in 2019.
Chapek invited Imagineer Scott Trowbridge on stage to discuss the project. Trowbridge described Galaxy's Edge as a stepping-off point for adventures where you will find your own adventure. He added that this is a living place where your choices matter. It sounds as though the characters you encounter throughout the new land will interact with you in different ways, depending on the results of missions you complete, or don't complete, on attractions and perhaps even elsewhere in the new space. Both attractions appear to feature technologies new to Disney's domestic parks. In one attraction, you will pilot the Millennium Falcon. We don't know much beyond that, but Trowbridge did suggest it will be possible to crash the ship, so guests will clearly have the ability to affect the ride experience. Chapek noted on the Millennium Falcon attraction that everybody works as a team, which probably means everybody in the same ride vehicle will have the same result. And, as we learned, those results will affect your interactions with characters inside Galaxy's Edge. This could mean gaining or losing galactic credits, or potentially upsetting someone who might send a bounty hunter out to look for you. The second attraction will take place inside an Imperial Star Destroyer. Not much else was said about this attraction beyond that, but the ride vehicle was revealed among the Expo exhibits. The vehicle suggests that this will be a trackless ride system, which Disney has used effectively in attractions for some of its overseas parks. The trackless system provides a level of unpredictability, so you don't follow the same path each ride, so you will likely see and hear different things each time you visit. Galaxy's Edge will also include what was described as the Cantina, which suggests something evocative of the Cantina from the original Star Wars film. Other than the name, not much else was said about the Cantina, except that blue milk will be available. We did learn that a familiar face will appear inside this dining establishment, as Captain Rex, the original pilot from Star Tours, will work as a DJ. Fans may remember Rex had the best of intentions, but had a habit of making some mistakes, so it was suggested things may not always go smoothly for DJ Rex as he adapts to his new role. No other attractions, dining, or merchandise locations were announced at this time, and the only other entertainment that was mentioned was a character with whom you will be able to trade items. Sounds similar to the experience Jawas have offered in Disney's Hollywood Studios in recent years, though perhaps on a larger scale. Overall, it's clear that Disney intends for there to be much more to your Star Wars Galaxy's Edge experience than merely riding attractions and eating food. The attractions themselves should have a level of unpredictability beyond what you see on Star Tours today, and walk-around characters will be able to interact with you and be familiar with the reputation you have earned. While guests are already looking forward to all this new land will offer, Galaxy's Edge won't be alone in expanding the Star Wars presence in the Disney parks. A Star Wars resort will also be coming to Disney World. No opening date or location were announced, though speculation suggests the resort will be near Disney's Hollywood Studios. Those who follow Disney Parks news closely may remember hearing about this idea last April, when concept art from a Disney guest survey made the rounds on social media. But now we have confirmation the project is indeed moving forward. We did not learn much else about the Star Wars resort during the expo, as it appears the project is still in the concept stage, but Chapek did offer that the experience will make it appear as if you have stepped onto a starship, and everything you encounter should further that theme. He added that every window has a view into space, which seems to suggest no actual windows into the real world. Chapek used a popular buzzword at Disney when he described the overall experience as 100% immersive, which seems to suggest this will be more than just a hotel that looks like something you might see in Star Wars, but rather will launch guests into their own mini Star Wars saga, with experiences at the resort likely also tied to what happens when guests visit Galaxy's Edge, and the experience in the resort also impacting your visits to Galaxy's Edge. Chapek emphasized this when he said, "Your resort experience will culminate in a unique journey for every person who visits." But the news in the studios wasn't just about Star Wars.
We are thrilled to announce that we are creating our first ever ride-through attraction built entirely around Mickey Mouse.
Chapek introduced Imagineer Kevin Rafferty to explain some of what to expect from the first attraction devoted to Disney's most iconic character. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad will be a 2.5D experience, transporting us from our 3D world into the 2D world of cartoons, taking inspirations from a series of Mickey shorts that have appeared in recent years. Goofy will also appear in the attraction as the engineer of a locomotive, which probably explains why this railway may at some point appear out of control. Rafferty also promised that the attraction will have more hidden Mickeys than any attraction anywhere in the universe. While Mickey and Minnie may not be particularly large, Rafferty described their Runaway Railroad by saying, "This is not going to be a small attraction. It's going to be game-changing. Exactly what that means remains to be seen, but given the size of the show building, the importance of Mickey Mouse to the company, and the location of the Chinese theater at the focal point of the studios, you can see why we should expect something big." Let's hope Rafferty delivers on his promise that this attraction will be, in his words, a mousterpiece. A lot will be riding on this railway attraction. The only bad news here is that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad will come to life in the space currently occupied by the Great Movie Ride, meaning the last of Disney's Hollywood Studios opening day attractions will ride off into the sunset at the end of the day on Sunday, August 13th of this year. With all this construction in the studios, we did learn some new attractions will be coming to that park by next summer. While we have known about Toy Story Land in Disney's Hollywood Studios for some time, and even seen some concept art on construction walls inside the park, we had only a vague idea when we would be able to visit the new land. Chapek narrowed this time down by quite a bit, announcing the land will open in the summer of 2018. So by this time next year, you may be able to see the first of the big changes to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Toy Story Land will feature 2 attractions. Disney describes the Slinky Dog Dash as a family coaster attraction, and Alien Swirling Saucers appeared to be a scrambler-style attraction, putting you inside the claw game that brought aliens into the Toy Story adventures. While neither of these appear to be headliner attractions, both appear likely to be fun for all ages. There was no word at the expo or subsequent press releases about any new dining, merchandise, or other locations inside the new land. Now, turning our attention to Epcot, as important as the Star Wars announcements were, many Disney fans were just as eager to hear news about Epcot, where last fall, at a different D23 event, Chapek promised what he called a major transformation of that park, which would be more Disney, more relevant, more timeless, and more family, while remaining true to the original vision of Epcot. In Anaheim, Chapek did not back away from his earlier public statements.
Teams are thinking big when it comes to Epcot.
Chapek was joined by Imagineer Tom Fitzgerald, who was leading the team in charge of the transformation of Epcot. Chapek made a point to remind the audience that Fitzgerald was involved with the original Epcot Center project, noting his work on the beloved former Epcot attraction Horizons. Fitzgerald described his understanding of Epcot as a place that has always been, from day one, an optimistic celebration of the real world, brought to life through the magic of Disney, adding that Epcot is a place where the real becomes fantastic and the fantastic becomes real. Chapek then went on to describe World Showcase not only as a place to experience cultures from around the world, but also as a place to celebrate Disney films that were inspired by the countries that are part of World Showcase. He noted the number of guests requesting fast passes for Frozen Ever After in the Norway Pavilion as evidence that guests are responding positively to the increased prominence of Disney film properties inside of Epcot. That all led us to Chapek's next big announcement.
So I'm thrilled to announce we'll be adding a brand new attraction, Ratatouille, to the France Pavilion. We're going to add it to an entirely new area right past the Eiffel Tower.
Rumors of Remy coming to the France Pavilion have been swirling around for some time, but we learned that this new attraction will open by the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort in 2021. Ratatouille the Adventure is a popular trackless dark ride attraction in Disneyland Paris that shrinks guests down to the size of a rat so that we can see what it's like for Remy to prepare a meal. Prior to the expo, as rumors persisted that this attraction may come to Epcot, some guests expressed concern that the new attraction might replace the Impressions de France film in the France Pavilion. However, Fitzgerald seemed to address those concerns when he described the location of Remy's ride as a new space adjacent to the France Pavilion. A Disney Parks press release also noted that the attraction will expand the pavilion, so it appears that nothing will close as a result of this change. On a smaller scale, a brief announcement brought unexpected news about an upgrade to an existing World Showcase attraction when Fitzgerald announced that a new film will be coming to the China Pavilion. Disney has created a new digital CircleVision camera system that will allow a seamless presentation that past CircleVision movies were not able to offer. While it was not directly stated during the presentation, it seems likely this new film will eventually replace the current Wonders of China film. No time frame was given about when we should expect to see this new film. Fitzgerald and Chapek then turned their attention to Future World.
We're thrilled to announce today that Epcot will soon have a brand new e-ticket attraction based on the rock and action-packed world of Guardians of the Galaxy.
This attraction will be different from Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which recently opened in Disney's California Adventure. Chapek noted that work of this magnitude obviously is going to take some time, so don't expect to see the new attraction anytime soon. All we know now is that this attraction is set to open before the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World in 2021. Without revealing details of what this new ride experience will include, Chapek described the new Guardians attraction in general terms as more timeless, more relevant, and more Disney than what we currently see in Epcot. Imagineers also appear to be at work writing a backstory that will explain why this new attraction belongs in Future World, possibly centered around the revelation that a young Peter Quill, one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, visited Epcot as a child before his adventures across the galaxy began. The arrival of Guardians will mark the closing of one of Epcot's original pavilions, the Universe of Energy, which in recent years has been home to Ellen's Energy Adventure. Your last chance to travel through time with Ellen and Bill Nye will be the same day as the closing of the Great Movie Ride on Sunday, August 13th of this year. In news that will have a more immediate impact on park visitors, we learned about another upgrade to an existing Epcot attraction, as Fitzgerald revealed that when Mission Space reopens in the next month, it will include a second separate ride experience. The Green Mission will now be what he described as an orbital adventure around our planet, with the added benefit that the revamped mission will be one that younger kids can join. Fitzgerald also noted that Imagineers worked with ILM to make the Mars mission look even more incredible, so there may be some changes to the Orange mission as well. Disney seems committed to generating excitement about Mission Space, as the new mission wasn't the only news around that pavilion. A new table service restaurant will be added next to Mission Space, with the setting for your meal being somewhere above the Earth. Concept art suggests that large windows will offer diners a look out into space, No details were offered about when this restaurant will open, but Disney has announced that it will be operated by the Patina Restaurant Group, who also run Tutto Italia, Via Napoli, and Morimoto Asia. Following the expo, one item that was not announced has nonetheless generated quite a bit of a buzz in the Disney fan community. You may have noticed during the Guardians of the Galaxy announcement, Fitzgerald and Chapek were standing in front of concept art that showed a very different looking transition between Future World and World Showcase. Since there seems to be some interest in this topic, let's take a closer look. Among the more striking changes we would see if this sketch were to come to fruition are the elimination of Innoventions and the Fountain of Nations, considerably more grass and trees than we currently see in Epcot, and a very different World Showcase Plaza. However, what a lot of folks have failed to note is that this is just concept art. To make that point clear, let's take a look at a model of Epcot Center displayed on the cover of the December 1978 Walt Disney Productions quarterly report to stockholders. Spaceship Earth and the American Adventure look quite a bit different, don't they? And notice how different the transition between Future World and World Showcase is from what was actually built. So let's not assume what we saw in the background is exactly what will be built. So what can we learn from this photo? Looks like Imagineering is looking to add more green to Future World and wants to create a more interesting transition between Future World and World Showcase. Beyond that, let's wait and see and hear what is announced in the near future. Epcot's 35th anniversary is coming up October 1st of this year, and there's another D23 event to celebrate that milestone, so maybe we'll hear more at that time. There's also some big news about the Magic Kingdom.
Shanghai's highest rated attraction, that's right, Tron is coming to Walt Disney World.
Disney's official announcement describes Tron as a coaster-style attraction where riders board a train of two-wheeled light cycles, and goes on to add that it offers access into the energy, lights, and excitement of Tron's high-tech universe. The light cycles are somewhat similar in shape to what visitors to Pandora's Flight of Passage may be familiar with, though the ride experience is very different. This is a fast-paced roller coaster that has drawn rave reviews from many guests in Shanghai and should be an exciting addition to the Magic Kingdom. Prior to the expo, some popular Disney news blogs fueled rumors that this attraction would replace the Tomorrowland Speedway. But given the way Chapek worded his description of the location of the attraction as an entirely new area right next to Space Mountain, it appears that nothing in the Magic Kingdom will permanently close to build this attraction. It looks as though Tron will sit mostly on the opposite side of the Walt Disney World Railroad in an area currently occupied only by trees. Chapek announced that the attraction will open in time for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, which means no later than October 1st of 2021. While many of today's announcements were confirmation of stories that had leaked in recent months, another addition to the Magic Kingdom came completely out of the blue. A new theater will be built on Main Street, USA in the Magic Kingdom, with the outside the theater built to resemble the Willis Wood Theater in 1920s Kansas City, Missouri, intended to remind guests of the place where Walt Disney began his career in animation. What we will find inside the theater was not announced, though Chapek likened this to the Hyperion Theater in Disney's California Adventure, which is currently running a show based on the animated film Frozen. It does not appear that this theater will replace any existing buildings, but rather it is likely that it will expand Main Street, USA. There was some Walt Disney World news outside of the parks as well. Disney's Riviera Resort was announced as the next Disney Vacation Club resort. Following the expo, Disney announced that the resort will include 300 units with a variety of accommodation types. The location appears to be adjacent to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, though it appears the Riviera Resort will operate separately from Disney's original moderate resort. Chapek did announce that the resort will include a restaurant on its top floor that will feature views of nighttime spectaculars in Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Disney also announced the expected opening date of Disney's Riviera Resort to be in the fall of 2019. Turning to transportation, in news that was not at all surprising, Chapek announced the new gondola transportation system that will connect Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios with several nearby resorts. This service will be known as Disney Skyliner. The Skyliner will connect Epcot through the International Gateway entrance, The gondolas will connect Epcot, the studios, with Disney's Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, and the new Riviera Resort. The opening date for the Skyliner was not announced. Another new transportation service has already started making test runs around the Disney World property. Chapek describes Minnie, as in Minnie Mouse, vans, as a new point-to-point transportation service. Following the event, Disney explained that guests will request this transportation from their smartphone, and a Disney cast member will drive them wherever they want to go around Walt Disney World. In recent years, speculation has suggested Disney wanted to offer a service similar to what guests experience with ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft, and this appears to be their attempt to do so. The red and white polka-dot vehicles have already been spotted on Disney World property in the days following the announcement, with some guests reporting enjoying complimentary service during initial tests. Disney has stated the service will begin later this month for guests of the Boardwalk, Yacht, and Beach Club resorts. Early reports are that 2 car seats will be available in all vehicles, potentially increasing the appeal to families, with a flat rate of $20 to or from any Disney World parks and resorts or Disney Springs. However, Disney is yet to confirm the price or a rumored partnership with one of the popular ride-sharing services. While rumors persist about even more changes to Disney World in the years to come, not every rumor was addressed at the expo. Some potential changes park fans have talked about in recent months and years were not addressed, and that includes the following: no new World Showcase pavilions, no replacement for Illuminations, no discussion of changes to the Imagination Pavilion, no new nighttime parade for the Magic Kingdom, no details about any changes at Tomorrowland besides the Tron attraction, no new name for Disney's Hollywood Studios, no children's play area in the studios, and no changes at all to Disney's Animal Kingdom. So it sounds like there may be a lot more Disney World news to come, but the D23 Expo certainly gave us a lot to talk about for now. Hope this summary has helped you make sense of what we learned last weekend.
Have a great night and enjoy the rest of the expo.